My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast, and it's night 2 of Masterchef.
Woo!
Woo! And it's the night where we
woo a lot, though. It's kind of like, it's Kiwi Bake Off, which is terrible. Woo!
We didn't really woo Kiwi Bake Off.
No.
Kiwi Bake Off wooed nobody.
Yes.
And unless you happen to be one of the Kiwi bakers listening, in which case, we love you.
Kia ora to you.
Kia ora to you, but this show sucked. Anyway, There's a reason why we're doing Masterchef and not Kiwi Bake Off, which is on, by the way, just to pull back the curtain, it's on right now and no. So we've just watched, obviously, episode 2 of Masterchef for this season. Last night we did a little recap.
We did.
Very brief, more about a setting up of the season.
It was just some first thoughts, really. It wasn't anything in depth. We'll have a bit more of a gab about it tonight.
We're setting the table.
Yes, we just laid the tablecloth.
We're setting the table.
We spray and wiped it to get the cat's footprints off.
We were setting the table like
subsequent germs.
We were setting the table like an unpaid George Columbaris waiter. So, look,
we should go a bit easy on George. He's really done a 180-degree turn. Last year, I'm sure he's going to punch someone out in the first 2 episodes. And this year, it's like he's going to, hug you to death. He's very excitable.
I mean, he was chased at the end by someone who was ultra excitable.
I know.
I've never seen George Columbaris move that fast, in all honesty. I mean, he ran for his life. I think he was terrified that there was about to be a human skin suit happening. But anyway, we will come back to that, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to get into a bit more depth about last night. Now, yes. I believe there was something, though, that you were left with just as in general last night, and it was relating to the show, and it was relating to social media.
Yeah.
And it was about just the way that we all feel at this point in time.
Yes, I just want everyone to pause for a moment and just really take stock of the joy and excitement and hope that we are all feeling right now. It does feel like a brand new day. I mean, it is. It's Tuesday.
It is, but...
and yesterday was Monday.
So it is a new day, but...
It feels that there's a spark of hope. It's like Gandalf has appeared in white, just at the battles of Helm's Deep, just bringing out the new dawn. And I just want to just savour this moment because I'm hopeful, but I'm pretty sure in about 2.5 months' time we're going to be like...
We're very hopeful that this continues, but we're also realists, and we've done this enough
to know.
And we know
how this ends.
We know that in a couple of months' time it's going to be end this. But at the moment, we're so excited to start the journey.
It's like we're apparently women who have had babies and go back to have more babies. It's like there's a bit of a...
So you went there. I went going with the school metaphor. This is the first day of kindergarten.
Oh.
And it's not like the last term of year 12 where you're like, just get it over and done with. I don't care anymore. Just finish it. Don't care, couldn't really care less. That year 8, 9 stretch was hell.
Yeah, I got to that point about the beginning of year 11, though. I was ready to leave.
Yeah, no.
I was going to go to NIDA, though, so I gave no fucks about my HSC.
And I often said that I couldn't wait to get out of a high school. And go figure.
And then my mum told me, Kristie, go get a real job because acting will never pay. And so I went and got a real job. You know what she says to me now? Oh, I wish you'd done more acting. You're really good on the stage, love. Thanks, Mum.
You might have become Leah.
Might have walked onto the set of... I'm trying to think of a show I actually really like.
Yeah, Degrassi.
I walk on as the Australian exchange student on Degrassi. You and
Fee Newen go on together as a double act.
Yeah, I'll wear she'll wear her Degrassi-fied jacket, and I'll wear just clothes.
I love the way you went with that.
Less awesomely decorated.
So we really need to talk about last night in a bit more depth. Now, obviously, we all started with Prince Harry.
Yes, who I am still pushing is half Prince Harry, half Jack Thompson.
He really is a bit, and he's...
Because as it was pointed out tonight on Twitter, he is the narrator of the season.
I was going to say that what we learned about...
He's the bush poet.
What we learned about him tonight is that, my God, does he have advice for people?
Yeah, but he was also the questioner. He's also like,
and he really...
What are you cooking there?
He really is the...
Flavours are you using?
He is going to be, I think, the key person in this series for as long as he's in there. where the producers say, we need someone to ask the really dumb question. He's like, gotcha. Right. What are you using over there? Is that a pan?
I do also have to question if he's a prince or if he's more of a, say, an earl, maybe a viscount.
Viscount. Ooh,
Viscount
there's
Harry.
there's not enough viscounts.
There's not really.
Viscount's awesome. I like that.
I know, because you know who's only more awesome than a viscount? The Count.
The Count is more awesome than Viscount.
He'd be going
one wonderful Viscount. Ha, ha, ha,
He'd be going up to that guy Matt's ice cream and going, one flavour, two flavour.
No. Three, go away.
60 seconds later, 123.
That's not a good ice cream, but I like to count. So obviously Tim made his pork last night, which was bold, especially with Gary and the crackling, and he got it right.
But he knew what he was doing, obviously.
He did. He
went down and slapped his meat on the table.
I do have to say that
I saw those hands. They look like they'd be packing some big meat, like he could just hold big meat in his big meaty hands.
I do have to say, though, that I sympathise a bit with poor Tim, because quite clearly they had him in early to cook.
Yeah.
But obviously he'd been out in the sun for a good 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
And as a fellow redhead, solidarity, brother. Because clearly while he was cooking, he was very badly sunburnt. But I legitimately believe they had him in early.
No, you know what it was? He was just in the Masterchef garden for the 5 to 10 minutes that they were filming that bit.
That's all you need. Literally. I can walk from one block to another and on the walkway get burnt. So I feel your pain.
The nurses come up to the producers and gone, look, we've got a real ranger in here. We've got
glowing.
10 minutes at max.
He's glowing.
Yeah.
We need to fix that up.
Now, Tim, isn't he also, his wife's expecting twins? Or is that someone else's wife?
I can't remember now.
Oh, we'll learn. Someone's a bad dad going, fuck this. Oh no, it's not him, it's some other douche that's going, fuck this. And my lovely pregnant wife, we've already got a child. I'm going on Masterchef.
Oh yeah, that was was that
that's
vegan
the
guy?
dude. Yes, it was. Mushroom dude.
It was mushroom. These are scallops, but not mushrooms. We'll come to that in a minute. Jess, obviously, with her scallops, she did actually make scallops. Real scallops. Learn from this vegan dude.
Quite like Jess. Loved her lipstick. Big, bold, beautiful.
I mean, we'll talk about Jess tonight. She did have one moment in tonight's episode, and what a moment that was.
Look, okay, fast forward to night 2. And there's who was it? Was it D?
Yeah, it was.
D?
It was. They were going through.
No, it was Matt's flavour, wasn't it?
No, it was Sandeep.
Sandeep's there cooking, and they're like, "Oh, he mentions flavour," and suddenly, woo, flavour.
She was at the back of the group too, and the group parted. And it was like that moment in the Simpsons episode, Last Exit to Springfield, where they vote for the, all in favour, yay, all opposed, meh. Who keeps saying that? And the crowd parts, and it was him. Let's get him, fellas. And it looked like that. The crowd parted around and looked at Jess like, what the fuck was that noise?
Look, she's just very excited about flavours.
She loves flavour. Flavour Profile is the name of the game.
She's like your lifesaver, loves the flavour.
We also had, of course, the wonderful, the amazing Huda
V2.
So we have Huda and Huda. Now, notice how I'm pronouncing those. It sounds the same.
But it's different?
It is different.
Yes.
Right, there's Huda and Huda.
I did like how when she came up and the judges are like, oh, we had a Huda on last year. It's like, we only audition Hudas. Well, that's bullshit, because she was the only other one auditioning. But, you can never have too many Hudas in your life. And her daughter was adorable, picking up all the confetti.
Yeah. And
it was a little bake-off moment.
The lamb kofta looked really good. It looked impressive. And, I mean, look, she has a lot to live up to. As you've seen, if you've been to our Instagram at Washing Up Pod, or you've checked on Twitter at the Washing Up, you will have seen a sphere with a smear. And
a crumb.
And a crumb. There was a crumb
twirl.
too. And it was everything. It was a twirl. Yeah, there was a twirl. Huda, last season's Huda, is the only person on earth that can serve me a dome and not have me go, what the fuck? But go, This is legitimately one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten.
And it really was. It really was. What that woman can do with Werther's Original blow your mind.
It's amazing. So this season's Twitter has a lot to live up to.
Blow your mind, tickle your clit, and lick your nipple.
Now, we then had... Now, stop again. We've talked about it a bit last night, but again, stop me if you've heard it before. Gina.
Oh.
The grandmother with a pasta recipe.
Well, I hope she had a good one, but apparently she didn't.
So she's a ya-ya, not a nonna.
Yeah.
We talked about that a bit last night. I was glad to see that at that point there they kind of cut off the let's recast everybody from last year.
Although we did have Derek come along with his guns.
Him and his pot stickers.
Yeah, and his arsenal.
All the guns.
The gun show.
It was Derek and the gun show.
And the hair show. What I love, though, is Khan's tweets. He's like, here's this guy, guns are galore, and Khan's like, I want his hair. His hair does not move.
Yeah, I did like that, because Khan was like, what do I have to give for his, how do I get my hair to do what his hair does? And I'm like, but your hair is wild and untamed, much like you, Khan. It's everywhere we want it to be. It's
like Adam Sandler came out of Click with the remote and just pressed pause on that dude's hair.
It was incredible. So we had it at that point there. Look, we kind of have to talk about Leah.
We'll just mash it together.
Yeah, we kind of have to talk about Leah.
Yeah.
So now Leah goes through to second chance and she cooks tonight, and we'll talk a bit more about her tonight. Look, I love Leah's. We'll say I love her enthusiasm. We'll use the word enthusiasm for that.
Yeah.
It is enthusiasm, and she genuinely has grown up watching the show. I worry a little bit about
her sanity?
Yeah. I worry a little bit about...
the safety of the other contestants?
Yeah, a lot. It got a bit single white female at the end. And okay, so here's the thing. If you've ever seen Lena on YouTube, which is a creepy girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's got that wild twinkle in her eye.
Take Lena's dark hair and make it blonde. It's Leah.
Yeah.
And it's very creepy, and... I know it's not intended to be that, so no one going, oh, you're just picking on it. No, I'm not picking on it. I'm saying how it came across. And if by the looks of social media, a lot of people are a bit concerned.
Look, she's vibrant. I am slightly jealous that someone has that much love and passion for something. Like, I have a very apathetic soul.
I also worry a little bit about what this show will actually do to her over the course of the run, because it will at some point crush her like a paper cup.
It's like she's gone into the chocolate factory.
Yeah,
but like not a posh stuck up bitch or an entitled little twat or an underprivileged child. She's gone in genuinely big fan of Willy Wonka. And I'm just worried that river is going to chew her up.
I'm worried she's going to fall off the magic ride. Like, when he starts with which direction we are going, and she's off the back of the boat. Look, I liked what she did tonight. I thought the lemons were really cool and a very good idea. What I did like was the fact that I like that even her own mother calls her out on what she referred to as her food being wanky.
You know what, though?
And last night...
she's a nerd, and she's nerding out about it.
My only thing was that last night's was a step too far, even for MasterChef.
It was single white female on a plate, because she's basically copied Shannon Bennett's.
But what I do want to say is I want to give some credit here to the judges. And I know that's not a phrase I've said a lot in the history of MasterChef, but you're going to hear it a few times in this episode.
I know.
They looked at it and they went, yeah, but technique. And we actually need to see your foundations, and we can't see your foundations in this. You've started running. You need to show us you can walk before you start doing this sort of stuff. Yeah. And I liked that, and we've been on them and on them and on them in the podcast for the last couple of years about people who have solid fundamentals get ignored because someone does something ultra flashy, but their fundamentals might be weak. Yeah. And I like the fact that they said at the start of the competition, fundamentals, and it's true. Later on, do this.
In a good trajectory for Leah.
Exactly.
In a good trajectory, she gets in there, she's exposed to a lot of different people and ideas. She tempers down, mellows out a little bit, like the kind of the fantasy becomes reality.
Yep.
The reality sinks in, and you see her, like, when she paired back tonight and went to make those lemon things, she's like, well, this is something I make for my family, and it was fantastic. So I'm hoping that's the trajectory we see her on. However, I'm really worried she's going to be scooped up, and because she is excitable, and like, I really feel for her, because there's people who wear their hearts on their sleeve, and
I worry
I've
that she's
been a nerd, and I've been the one that sticks out, because
I worry she's going to do things to try to just impress them rather than do things that are good.
And this is what I mean, is like, I hope her nerdiness is like not just being whacked into the crazy basket and thrown about. I'd love to see her progress more.
It would be really good.
That would be lovely.
Now,
for her.
there were a couple of other people from last night that we'll come back to in a minute. Sandeep and Dee.
Yep.
Dee's brilliant, by the way. I love Dee.
Oh, Dee.
But I want to mention...
Suck on her crab claws.
I want to mention Kyle.
Which one's that?
He has a moustache.
Uh-huh.
He may have served oysters that weren't oysters.
Oh, he's mushroom dude.
A mushroom hipster.
Oh, I kind of like
I know you kind of like Kyle.
Like, it was weird.
Kyle and I are going to be interesting this season because, like, and it's not before people go, oh, it's the vegan thing. We've mentioned this before, we had a really good experience at a vegan restaurant recently.
We're coming down off our high horse and just jumping on a Shetland, all right? We're off the, if there's no mate, it sucks. What's this gluten-free shit?
But I'm not coming totally off that. But more importantly...
That's why I said we're going on to a Shetland
pony.
There's still a little bit of it, but not as much.
You say because I'm short, my feet still don't touch the ground, because don't do that. Anyway...
I never bring up your stature because I'm not tall. Anyway, let's move on.
We're the same height. Anyway.
We are.
But...
The shit thing is your shoes are slightly smaller. I mean, I have fucked up feet shape anyway. But, our friends Reese and Joe, their feet are exactly the same. I'm like, that is heaven. You can just swap shoes.
You're not having my Converse. Anyway.
And you're not having my athlete's foot.
Thank you. Anyway, so I didn't like the fact that he did I'm going to do a bait and switch because I want to convince them that mushrooms taste good. Guess what? They know.
These dudes have been around.
You don't have to convince these guys that mushrooms can taste good. You don't have to convince them you can use them as the centerpiece of a dish. I'm pretty sure we've done that on an episode of Masterchef.
And I'm pretty sure these guys have experimented with, vegetables in their time. We all have during our uni days.
I didn't like the bait. Allegedly blanket. I didn't like the bait and switch. I really wasn't a fan of that, and I don't like the fact that he was really smug about a lot of his rationale. It's the smugness again.
You don't like smug.
The problem with
I was all about the execution and the product.
Yeah, the problem with veganism for me is never being a vegan. If you want to be vegan, go for it. Run, don't walk to that, I say. It's the smugness. It's the old joke, how do you know if someone's a vegan? Oh, they'll tell you. And I get the feeling that Kyle would be the person who would sidle up to you at a bar and go, so I'm vegan.
Unsolicited veganness.
Unsolicited veganness.
And the episode title is born.
So we finished off the last night's episode with Mandy. Completing, of course, the need.
You baked me up. What'd she make?
She was the one at the end, our friend who completed our Eurovision slam.
That's right. Hello, Albania. No, that's not Mandy. That's Anushka.
Oh, that's Anushka. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
that's right. Mandy was the other one who was from Eastern Europe that didn't get through.
Oh, sorry, Mandy.
Then Anushka, sorry, and Anushka was the Armenian. I
remembered you, Anushka.
She was the one with Instagram.
Yes.
Which seems like a weird way to get onto the show. Here, look at my Instagram. Don't just look at my Instagram.
Yeah.
I can't. And they did take the funniest photo in history.
Oh, with
her under Matt Preston's arm.
Yes.
And boy, were they finding that one funny. So they put all those people through, and they seemed to have a run of aprons last night.
They did.
And they still managed a montage of mediocrity. That was good.
But what I liked is they bunched it all together. So it wasn't a is it or isn't it. You got to really rejoice and feel uplifted with the people getting aprons. We saw the montage of, second goes, and we saw the montage of... So it wasn't... You know what I mean? Like, we were able to be uplifted rather than...
And a bit of a word for the acting.
Teased along.
And a bit of a word for the acting of the people on the show. And people go, what do you mean acting of the people on the show? When the judges came out, everyone seemed rather surprised that Matt Preston and George Columbaris and Gary Mann all walked out of the doors of the Masterchef kitchen. Why are you surprised? You know what you're there for. You know they're there. And you know you're going to see them, and you know you're about to do the bit to camera. I know it's supposed to be excitement, not surprise, but the way it came across was, oh my God, it's those three. What are you doing here?
Hold on. I thought you were a French guy. And a complete nutter wanker that puts babies' lives in danger.
Don't you do Campbell's soup ads and you deny vaccines work? I'm sure that's how this works. Which one of you activates your almonds? It's one of you, isn't it? Look, which one of you three is Maggie Beer?
Yes.
I'm trying, all right?
Who was the top Indigenous chef out of you lot? And
Which one of you? Baldy there, Matt Moran. No, no, you look far more Greek than Matt Moran normally does. And more importantly, everyone was actually there for the Vespa. So just saying. So tonight, there were a few things we need to get into about tonight.
Yes.
First of all, we have to talk about the three new mentors.
We do.
Okay, so obviously Shannon Bennett was sold as part of bankruptcy. And
he was put in with
he's paying off his debts. Right now he's working.
Scrubbing pans.
He's working in kitchens.
He's going around to his employees' individual houses and having to do chores. He's got a chore chart, and every time he completes something, a sticker goes up.
Shannon Bennett making 2-minute noodles. Now, what I can do is I can take the broth and Shannon, kettle, pour.
Kids just want 2-minute noodles.
Just want 2-minute noodles. Shannon, pour.
Just going to pause there for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. That is our dog Leo. Welcome him to MasterChef 2019.
You'll hear him a lot. He comes in, he gives us some really good takes occasionally.
He does. He's had a lot to say about Bake Off in recent years.
Oh, boy, hasn't he? Especially Kiwi Bake Off. The other night he went down on it.
He was not a happy puppy.
So he wasn't. So puppy at his age.
It's Leo. He's never progressed past puppy stage.
To be fair, he really hasn't.
No.
So we need to talk about the three new mentors. So obviously said no Shannon Bennett this year, but they have instead gone with a team of three.
Yeah.
And what an interesting team of three.
It is. So we've got Matt Sinclair.
So Matt Sinclair has been obviously allowed out of the Cobram cellar. And good for him.
I'm here for my food truck. Where is it? Just down this way, Matt. Down the cellar. Why would you put a truck in the cellar? Dum, 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 dum.
I'm covered. Why am I surrounded by olive oil?
Shh. Oh, well, Brendan, pang you.
You saw what we did to Pang, right? You saw what we did to Pang. So they let him out, which is great, and he gets to go around. Oh, maybe he snuck out. That's why he had a camouflage jacket on.
Yes. Yeah, way to sneak out and avoid the Cobram guys by going on national television onto one of Australia's most popular shows.
It's not like Cobram sponsor it or anything. Cobram are not a major sponsor of MasterChef.
No.
They're never going to see him.
No.
Right, this isn't part of the settlement they came to after Brendan Pang nearly got killed.
He's doing the hiding in plain sight ploy. Really badly.
really badly.
Poor choice in this one.
And as Maz did point out on Twitter, Bros would like their jacket back.
When will I be famous?
Matt can't answer that.
Probably after about 2 months.
Yeah, probably. We also had Billy.
We did have Billy.
So Billy is back after winning, was it 2 or 3? It was one of those early seasons. 3, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was season 3.
Ages ago.
So it was a while. It's been a long time, guys. And going over and working in Fat Duck, and as she went, Fat Duck made me really appreciate quietness.
Straight to the cowshed.
So
I like my dairy farm.
Billy.
I feel you, Billy.
Just the first thing that you pick up from seeing
people or cows. What am I going to spend much? And cheese.
And cheese, obviously. The thing that you pick up the second you see Billy on TV is she's just nice.
She's so sweet and lovely, and you can see that she's genuinely intrigued and happy to be there.
You can see that she would never have lasted in a professional kitchen.
However, I was a bit worried. I think there was a couple of times she went to go up. They're like, "I'll go talk to that person." She's going to go up and go rub her flank and go, "Whoa, Bessie."
She's been on the farm.
Just go calm that contestant down. They're looking a bit nervous. She's walked up just the way she was going to calm a cow before milking it.
Whoa.
Just going to put the bucket under here. Let's just
Why?
warm up the teats there.
Why are you trying to throw grass in their face? It's how I calm.
Yeah, she just walks up with a bag of oats. Just some hot mashed oats. I know that's for horses. I presume they do it for cows too.
Lead somebody off to the back of the shed quietly.
I'm a bit worried. They're like, no, we want you to go up there and really probe them. And she gets out the long glove.
No, I fear what happens when they eliminate a contestant. Look, it's time to get rid of them, unfortunately. And she's like,
she goes out and I'll get the bolt gun.
Gets the gun. It's like, no, Billy, don't do that. Whoa, Billy, whoa. But she's genuinely lovely. Obviously, we've just talked about the first two. You can quite clearly tell who the media professional is. Here. And dear God, doesn't Poe do it well?
Oh, she is a delight to watch.
Poe's so good.
Like the other two, very rough around the edges. Matt's finding his feet. He's finding his personality. He's kind of like a mix of
he's practiced
George
a couple of those George
Matt
calls.
And Gary, and it's like he needs to find his own voice. Billy's got her own voice because it's her, but Poe, wow.
And you can tell her media training. You can tell that she's done a lot of this. You can also tell that she's just a genuinely awesome person who knows. And you can tell the three of them know their stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of their interactions were really good tonight, like with each other, talking about dishes. Their interactions with the contestants. Again, you could see Matt was sort of trying to find his feet a bit. Billy was sort of lightly asking questions. Poe just straight up, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That looks really good. Wow, look at that.
She kind of had this Maggie Bee vibe to her, you know, like just like a little, like just like an apprentice beer going around there. The thing I liked, and it was very awkward, and I'm hoping it'll like smooth out as the season goes, was the three of them having a little chit chat. Just a little discussion going on. It was quite nice.
It was really cool because again, you actually got. I liked this because we talked last year about part of the problem. There were a couple of big problems with the challenges. The first problem was there were too many episodes where they gave them the entire pantry and just said, make whatever you want.
Yep.
So they gave them a choice of 1 in 3. That was really good.
Yep, it was still infinite but finite. You know, like you can make whatever you like, but this is all you've got to work with. And it worked beautifully in this challenge.
The second thing they did, and I don't think we've been happier at a revelation in MasterChef ever.
Blind judging.
That was the number one call on all forms of social media last year was you need to judge these challenges blind. Now, obviously, I don't know if it's going to continue through the series. I would suspect not.
No, but this was a great thing to see tonight.
It would be nice that every now and then in particular, it would be nice for them at least just here and there to do it. Just to put a bit of faith into the audience that we are actually judging it on taste. Because
and we're not judging it on...
who we like or what we're interested in.
Yeah, I mean, there's still, you know, back channeling that could go on.
100% there's back channeling, but at least you want it to appear above board.
Yeah, and it might actually give a little room for it to be a little bit more unbiased.
Yeah, so we were delighted with that, and I think Twitter was delighted with that. There were lots of,
I think the judges appreciate it too. They're like, we're just here for the beginning and the end. We'll see you in 8 hours. Fuck you, boys.
That might be why they're actually so refreshed. Is that they're not going to have to carry as much of the load. They can leave for a bit. They've worked out the Matt Moran, Maggie Beer. We're going to bugger off for a challenge and just go sit and have a cup of tea, and you guys do you.
Well, it's like in Mythbusters when they brought in the three...
the build team.
The build team. I think it was great because it added some extra energy, added some new voices, and also gave Adam Savage and
Jamie Hyneman a rest, which was really good. So the one thing that did keep true is you could tell who was going through because they focused on them. Except for one, there was only one. They always do one as a decoy.
Well, you've got to have a bit of tension there.
And poor Matt of the billion flavour ice cream. Matt and his Technicolor ice cream.
It's like you go up and you lick one. I can taste snozzberries.
Snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Now, I'll start with him because we have to really start with him and his ice cream, which...
I need to pack flavour into it. Yeah, pack flavour, not all the flavours.
Yeah. All I could think of was, again, from Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat, the look at his ice cream. It was red and yellow and pink and brown and purple and orange and violet and gold and...
Chartreuse and magenta and siren.
My father, who is a musical director, did Joseph once, and when they did that song in the musical, the cast kept on getting confused, so every third colour was red. It was red and yellow and red and green and red and violet and red, and he's like, no. It was one lot of red.
Yeah, it was Commie Joseph, really.
Joseph in his communist dream coat. So
I dream of a society equal amongst the world. And Jesus was
he's leading them across the desert, and where he's leading them to is the utopian society.
Mother Russia.
So we focused on a few people. We focused on Sandeep. Now, okay. Not against Sandeep.
No.
I think, again, last night his curry looked like it was almost there. It needed about 15 minutes more, they said, with the meat, and that would have been great.
Yep. And his food looks delicious tonight.
It looked delicious tonight. There are a couple of things. First of all, if we're going to have this level of emotion and waterworks in every single one of these, it's going to get old fast. And that's not about don't show emotion. Of course, show emotion. But if we're going to cry with every challenge as the most important thing in my life,
it's going to detract.
It's going to take away from the cooking, and people are going to start going, "Oh, they're only doing it because he's upset all the time."
And he's obviously got a trauma history. That is pretty fucked. What he and his family went through. There's a lot of shit that they've gone through. And coming from Kashmir, leaving everything behind, moving to a whole other end of a continent, and now he's in Australia.
Now the focus has to be for him on food.
Food, yeah.
The other problem that he had tonight was adaptability.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something where I don't actually think he's going to be long for this show. And the reason is I'm a bit worried about his ability to adapt, because he seemed to get very hung up on, I need exactly this for the recipe and I can't find it.
Yeah.
And he did serve up something really good, but you could just tell for him that he was like, oh, it's not what I want to serve and I'm not happy with it. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So hopefully he grows.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's a trajectory I'm hoping for with him, and there's a trajectory I'm worried that he'll take. So.
Exactly. We had a worrying moment early on that the producers actually seemed to jump all over, and I was really happy. We were both really happy about that, and you commented especially about it.
Yeah.
They started with Larissa.
Yeah.
And they started with Larissa basically
gushing over Matt.
Googly-eyed over Matt Sinclair.
What I'm really glad is that the editing obviously chopped around that. Because we do not need to make this a thing.
Yeah, we don't need to make the "isn't he a dreamboat" thing a thing.
It's not fucking necessary. We all have our types.
We don't need to do it.
But we don't need to make everyone like a fucking sex symbol and make that a thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise we end up on MKR with every woman apparently orgasming over Manu.
And nobody needs that in there. I mean, although to be fair to
Here's Therese and Darlene. They're a lovely lesbian couple that have been married for 30 years. And they walk in and they're supposed to go, oh, I'm so in love with Manu. Oh, I'll leave my wife here.
But it's really interesting because I think there was a chance for them to go really hard down that road. Mm-hmm. And a couple of times they looked like they were going to do it, and then they seemed to turn.
Yeah, there was this bit of a creepy moment. I felt sorry for Billy. And pervy meat guy. I don't know what his name is.
We don't really. Okay, so again,
Meat Trent.
Rule for brand new people on listening to the podcast: we don't know their name and they're just hovering in the background. Trent.
Yeah.
Right, male or female. Trent.
If we've never seen you before, suddenly your face pops up. You're Trent.
There was a bunch of Trents tonight. We'll talk about them in a minute.
Yeah. So. I mean, there was going to be a bunch of Trents, or at least going to be 7 Trents.
I don't know if I want to call this guy Trent. And the reason I want to call this Trent is that the other 2 Trents, lovely guys. This guy was a bit creepy.
He was.
He was very Billy.
awkwardness.
Billy,
She's beautiful.
Isn't Billy
Was
lovely?
he the one that said, no, it was someone in an apron when she walked in was like, she's beautiful. Yeah, great, but look at her talent and her skill.
She's
not
there.
Fucking Masterchef.
Yeah, she's not there as eye candy. She's there because she won the damn show.
She's got skills. She's got knowledge. Like, come on.
Something that 23 of you in that room won't do.
No.
So, again, it's the focus. But they did a very good job of redirecting the focus.
It's like it was acknowledged, but it wasn't made a thing. Thank you, God.
I actually get a bit of a feeling that the producers have sat down in the last gap and gone, all right, we've got some decisions to make.
Which way are we going to take
And
this?
I feel like they've made some choices and tried a few new things. And look, so far,
It's sticking.
can't complain.
Yeah.
Again, we had Matt. So we mentioned Matt before about his billion flavour ice cream.
Not Sinclair.
But
Matt of the Technicolor ice
Matt
cream.
of the I can't find a clock.
I did at this stage go, I think Matt's my Patronus. He's a little confused, just going all out and can't see what's the bleeding obvious in front of his face.
I need a clock. Where is the nearest clock? And then he looks behind him at, of course, the giant Masterchef clock and goes, oh my God, I didn't even see that.
Yep, I feel you, Matt. Welcome to my life.
It is. Yeah, look, it is. So...
Looking for the Voltaren the other night. Like, where is it? Sitting on the bench right in front of
your face, literally at eye level.
Yeah.
So Leah, what we learned about Leah tonight, and I need to say this because we obviously have our friend Leah who writes for various websites, etc.
He's lovely. He baked cakes
Who is
tonight.
lovely and baked a cake which Elena Duggan liked.
I work maybe 10 minutes from there, just saying.
So and by the way, and by the way, because we didn't mention it last night, but somebody did pop up on Twitter. Congratulations, Elena.
Yes, there's going to be an Elena Jr.
Elena Jr. That's
Elju.
Yep, Elju. Yep.
Juju soon.
And if it's a girl, log.
Elju.
But yeah, so we've got a friend who will be on the podcast probably at some point this season, Leah. When I talk about Leah, it's not that one.
Yeah.
Okay, unless she's on the podcast, and that's going to be really awkward at some point.
Or unless this is your new job, Leah, is posing as another
Leah who was a theatre manager. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Why, I am confused. We then got to see, we haven't talked about her, and deliberately we left her alone.
Yeah.
Dee.
Isn't she delightful?
Dun 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 dun. The crab that you served on the plate
Made George sweat from his head.
And I love the fact that she commented, I want to see if I can make him sweat.
Well done, Dee.
So, but Dee's curry was amazing.
It was. To the point where, like, there's Matt and Poe coming around and they're having a little taste. She's like, oh, Matt and Poe are tasting my curry. The moment of the night for me was when Poe goes, nice. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Sacha Baron Cohen. Get it? Nice.
It was very nice. It was very nice.
Came up with that joke all by myself,
She was
Mum.
so proud of it.
I was.
So you should have gone into acting, love. But she made the crab curry with the coconut rice. It looked good from start to finish. Like, there was never a point where you looked at that dish and went, she's going to be, will she make it, won't she make it? And when the judges came up to her, they didn't, like, when they went through and judged it, they did all the judging, and rather than go through, do it all, and then give out all the aprons, which is what they were going to do, they got to her curry and just went, that's an apron.
Yep.
Went and got it, just went, who did that one? That's you. Good. Here, have an apron.
And
Go.
just put all these grubby paws all over it.
And then here, have my curry stained apron. That was a really good thing. And I did like as well though when they finished, and Huda went over and went, that's your heart right there. And Dee looked around the kitchen, and the look on her face was like, it's a fucking crab.
Yeah, she's like, no, I'd be dead.
No, it's really not a heart. It's
and
crab.
Huda's like, I'm being like
It's metal.
It's just
It's your heart.
This is not literal, D.
Yeah.
They went off and had a bit of a
Dee's
discussion
like,
about similes and metaphors.
Oh, it was great. The linguistics was wonderful. Can we just say the one thing they did get wrong tonight? There was only one thing they got wrong.
Yeah.
Why was everyone on the floor?
It really did look like recess.
There was a break in filming, and everyone was wandering around. And that, of course, meant that your favourite, Jack Harry, was right next to the front bench all day.
But he wasn't, because if you watched it, there's parts where he's going, oh, what are you doing there? Oh, that smells good, blah, blah, blah. And then the next shot, he's in the background having a laugh with someone.
And then they cut back. Whenever they need a vital moment, he's back at the front going, oh, come on, you can do this. Oh, look at that. Oh, what are you making there? Oh, what's that? And I'm like, do we have to put him right next to them?
I just feel sorry for everyone else, though, that's waiting around, because there's all these amazing ingredients and like a kitchen equipment. Surely someone's gone, oh, I was going to slow cook something and maybe have a nibble on these cashews while I'm doing it. Just go around picking up a carrot, having a
who could have done that? The people in the montage of mediocrity. And by the way, when I say the montage of mediocrity tonight, it wasn't even a montage.
It was a.
Brief...
You were shunned and briefly unshunned. They were Dwight Schruted.
Okay, there was one woman in particular.
Shun.
There was one woman in particular there. I don't know who she was. I don't know a single thing about her.
I think she was a ninja assassin.
I don't know what she really made, even.
No.
They showed her. She was staring quite intensely. That was it.
Yep.
She wasn't mentioned again. We calmly... All the generic guys that blended into one, and they do very early on blend into one. A lot of when you get the hipstery-looking guys, they tend to blend. And there were 3 or 4 of them, and they all sort of merged into the one person and left in the single unit together.
The bro merge.
The bro merge happened, and they all left. It was like, I don't know the name of the gentleman.
They were a bramonge.
Bramonge. I don't know the name of the guy who was doing the meatballs, but I'm making meatballs, great flavour, and then they cut away and he was never heard of again.
He's in a cellar in Cobram.
Both Ginas came along to question him on his pasta. But, look, he said meatballs, but what sort of pasta would you go with that? And they just sort of very quietly let him away, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was really just really funny. And so we had that happen, and then we went through the different dishes. So Sandeep, they tasted his curry. He was ultra emotional the entirety of the time.
And he gave Matt like a very deep,
did the respectful touch of the leg, the lower leg. Larissa,
like Sandeep, emotions run deep.
They do, and we need to talk about Larissa because we haven't talked about what she made.
We haven't talked much about Larissa. We talked about her fawning.
But we do need to talk about the fact that, first of all, again, bold choice, pork.
Yep, but she knew what she was doing and she was comfortable with it. And I think she said, I love Lebanese food. I'm from a Lebanese family, but I also love cooking, Asian food. So,
and far more importantly for me, she made shallot pancakes.
Oh, yeah, well done, Larissa. I like her. I like her thinking.
I like her a lot. I think her style is really interesting. I liked the fact that she made a shallot pancake. I mean, that's always going to win with me.
I am with her that she didn't make 3 of them because there should always be more. Yeah,
I was going to say, when she said, talking about being generous, and she said, I'll be generous and make 3, 1 for each of them. Well, first of all, she didn't get to do it in the end.
Yeah.
Secondly, and far more importantly, I don't see that as generous. I see that as a base level.
Now, I'm just going to push pause here, okay? No culture on earth has the right to say we're the most generous culture in terms of food or whatever. There is great hospitality throughout the world. Not when you come to our place because it's like, do we have milk? Do we even have biscuits?
Excuse me, we have a soda stream.
We do. We will fizz you some water.
I can fizz you water like no one.
We can also serve black coffee because that is on tap here.
Oh, you better believe it is.
Yeah. So
strapped to my veins.
Okay. So taking our cultural household out of the equation, there's a lot of generosity in cultures. I've been to Italian houses, I've been to Greek houses, I've been to a lot of different houses, and even when you go to your nan's house, if you're got a nan, not a nonna or a yaya.
Excuse me, there are only 2 types of grandmothers. There is a nonna or a yaya. The others don't exist.
And
Masterchef has taught me this.
I think it comes down to that there may be a tradition of hosting and stuff, and it's great to be proud of that, but you can't claim it as exclusive.
No, and that's kind of the thing. So hopefully they stop
And I don't
doing
want you
that.
to, because every house I walk into, I want to be like showered in good food.
Literally.
Yeah.
So Larissa's pork and pancake went straight through. They love that. Then there was the montage of I don't even know who you are. I haven't bothered to learn your name because neither have they. So again, Trent.
Trent
We
won.
salute you, Trent.
Yeah.
Then we had, for the last couple of aprons, there were three. Obviously, they gave Leah the last one, and we'll come to what happened in a minute with that. Christina?
I noticed her because I'm like, I will not know
Ice
you.
cream sandwich.
She made the ice cream sandwich, which they looked fantastic. They were all even. It was a parfait sandwich.
They called it the ice cream sandwich at the end.
Did they?
When they put it through, they called it an ice cream sandwich. It was a parfait sandwich.
Yeah.
But, and again, we didn't get to mention, but I should really make mention, just when we all thought we were safe, there was a run. We went ice cream, we went parfait, we went panna cotta and crumb. All the tropes in the space of about 30 seconds.
So luckily you didn't put them all on the drinking
No,
game.
and to explain the drinking game to a few, because a couple of people commented about where are they on the drinking game. We rotate it, and the reason we rotate it is that alcoholism is serious, and
This isn't Bake Off, people. This is not a once a week hit for like 10 weeks. This is Masterchef. This is the long game. We can't have you in like detoxing
yeah, I can't have people.
three days in.
I can't have that on my conscience.
Yeah, we can't get a
not
phone
yet.
call
Not yet.
From
Later on,
Betty
yes.
Ford just going, what the fuck, guys? I mean, I'm sure she's dead
She's
or whatever.
dead, but if we're getting a phone call from Betty Ford, we're really concerned for more than one reason. But
asking for an exorcist.
but realistically, the first couple of rounds of the drinking game are the introduction bit. It's all those sorts of things. We pace ourselves with what we put on the drinking game because again, we don't want you all dead.
Yeah.
I don't need stomach pumping.
Or over cheeseled.
Or over cheeseled if you are following the Mel Buttle version of the game, which is cheeseled.
Cheesels. Yeah.
That's just a quick reminder about that. So Christina, who they didn't really show apart from like,
Well, she's got 2 children.
yeah,
I have a really strong suspicion she might fall Nathan at some point. I'm a
So
bit
do I.
worried. I can see a trajectory. And
I
I'm
really
just like,
do.
Christina, step away from the parsnip. Step away from the sauce. No, Christina, do not write for my 2 children.
no, just for Nathan. And neither of her children are probably called Nathan, but she needs to write for Nathan. If I want, this is the reason. Okay, so a lot of people have said about
do it for Nathan.
A lot of people have said, why don't you go on one of these shows then? And I'm like, well,
Nah.
a couple of reasons. One, I wouldn't do it because after a couple of times on camera, I just look at them and get jack of it and go, nah.
I've got too much anxiety and depression and burn shit for that kind of thing.
I would also just be far too stubborn. George would say something to piss me off and I'd just make something weird. But the other thing is too, I wouldn't be able to resist it.
For Nathan.
And I would for Nathan everything. Like, we'd get into that in the first challenge, and I wouldn't care if I went home after the first challenge. I would have a bottle of sauce, and I'd be running up the kitchen in large letters, for Nathan, all over the wall, and nailing parsnips.
And if they ban you from parsnips and sauce, just micro-herbing for Nathan onto the plate with
you've
tweezers.
never lived until you've thatched a for Nathan in micro-herbs. Never have you lived. So, and then Monica. Now, I heard someone say I'm making a panna cotta, which is where I went, oh, God, we've got another one.
And I've gone, oh, she's got honey on a T-shirt. And I've gone, no, it's the text honey, not actual honey.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, so she went, I'm making a panna cotta. And I went, okay, good. So she's making one. That's fine. They didn't show her again.
no.
Then they put her through.
Ta-da! Look, I'd much prefer her over Meat Dude.
Oh, 100%.
Pervy Meat Dude. Come and taste
and
my
well,
steak,
when they brought
Billy.
it up and they went,
I'm serving it up in a hot pan.
I like when they put them up there and they went, oh, and here we go. We've got this one here, which is a great meal, and this is a great meal. Steak. And you just saw everyone go, are you fucking serious? You've made a mistake.
You know why? He wasn't Ben.
Wasn't Ben. And I think there might have been something else. I like the idea they sat down the production meeting at the start of the year and they went, so, what do we need to do? What do we need to avoid? And one of the producers has gone, maybe don't put through the guy who just makes steak.
Yep. We've had a few of those.
Doesn't matter how awesome they are. Don't just put them through.
No.
Maybe think about it.
Yeah.
So they are the people that all go through, and obviously then we have to talk about the last person to go through because she was so concerned and so worried. And then...
It was a beautiful moment for the producers. They're like, we have crafted
Gold.
this perfectly.
You could see...
Her story.
You could almost hear the person on headset going, this is great, don't miss a shot. I want every camera
on her.
Don't look at anyone else. We'll do all the coverage shots later. I want every camera on her. Give the apron to Colin Barris. Just trust me on this. You want it in George's hands. He can probably move a bit more laterally. We've thought this through. George can duck, all right? Just give it to... You trust me. And then they said it, and she ran at George.
Yeah.
And he jumped. And, like, almost threw it at her. And then...
He took it, and then she, like, almost crowd surfed.
Can I point out...
Stage dived into everyone else.
Can I point out that nobody else wanted a piece of that celebration too? She stood in the middle and leapt about 400 miles in the air with her arms going, yes, 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 yes. And, like, she was waiting for everyone to rush over and embrace her.
Yeah.
And everyone was backing away towards the wall.
She's very intense.
She's hyper intense. I can only say...
Yeah.
They all have to live in a house together.
Oh. It's...
Every day is going to be an adventure.
But could you imagine, like, her delight? Okay, it'd kind of like be me on the headset of Harry Potter. I'm a bit more subdued than that. You've seen me, like, keep it cool.
I have.
With people. But, like, she'd go in and she'd be like, oh, my God, I'm taking a wee in the same place that...
Can you imagine all the people that have used this toilet?
Oh, my God. Elena Duggan has peed here.
Oh, my God, they've walked through this very door.
Yeah.
Like, it's 3 a.m. Get out of the doorway.
Do you think Harry used this knife? I think Harry used this knife.
You know...
Is this the mirror Khan did his hair in? Please tell me this is the mirror Khan did his hair. It's got to be the mirror Khan did his hair. I'm doing my hair like Khan.
Ben Ungerman, he opened that handle. He turned that door handle. That one right there. That one. I'm touching the door handle. We know it's my bedroom. Get out. I just...
Do you think this is where Matt slept? Do you think this is not part of the house? What are you doing here?
Can I point out, I really hope this year that they do a challenge where they come in the middle of the night and wake them all up. Because I like the idea that they normally sneak in and they're all sound asleep and they get them out of bed. They get in and all they find is everyone asleep and Leah just running around the house going, this wall. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know, Poe, over there, that wall.
Dedicated to her, and she's just rolling around on the carpet.
They're going to do an extra show, and the extra show is just going to be the security footage of just Leah buzzing around the house when everyone else is in bed. All I can think of is, you know, the one where again, I'm using Simpsons references, obviously. You know the Simpsons episode when Apu hasn't been to bed in 3 days, and he thinks he's a hummingbird? Just Leah is the hummingbird across the screen.
Like...
Oh my God, Khan and Aldo.
She's going to be very intense and take a lot of energy to watch on the screen. But I really feel for her. It's like there's some people in this world who just cannot, like, they are just so full of joy and love and passion for something.
And here's the thing.
Brims over.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I really hope that she gets everything she wants out of this.
Yeah. I hope she's not chewed up and spat out.
Yeah, I hope she gets everything she wants out of this experience. And again, I don't have any animosity towards anybody who's in there. Like,
no.
I mean, vegan guy a bit, but
settle. Get on your Shetland, Buchanan. Get on the Shetland.
I can't touch the ground. But beyond vegan guy, who again, I'm miffed by vegan guy. But the rest of them, like, there's no ill will towards anyone. I thought the first 2 episodes were really good, and you know the best part about the first 2 episodes?
What?
They didn't give us a 3.5 hour fucking marathon.
Oh, we can actually get to bed on a reasonable time.
We can indeed. You know what'll help us get to bed in a reasonable time?
Ending the show.
Wrapping up this podcast.
But I want to say one thing before we go. Okay, we touched on it before. Why wouldn't we go on this kind of show? And it's like, of course we wouldn't. We don't have the passion or the skill set to go on this show, and I don't have the courage either. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, and that's what these people are doing. You know, whether we love them, hate them, vibe with them, or just, you know, want to pull our hair out watching them, you've got to give them credit and some respect for stepping forward and putting themselves forward. They're going to be put on national television. They're going to be put through, like, friggin' unnatural experience. And the people that we spoke to who have been there and done that are like, it is the most intense, the most surreal, but the most amazing thing you've done in your life. So,
Exactly. So, and again, we hope that everyone, legitimately everyone who gets on there, you hope that they get out of it, what they want out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll obviously see how this goes. Now, we will be back. Now, the next episode, I think we've got down for Sunday this week.
Yeah.
So it's not going to, again, we're doing 2 a week. The last night.
Will there be a Masterchef episode on Sunday, though? We'll just check the scheduling.
Yeah, if not, then we'll be back on Monday. We will be back on Monday. It's complex at the moment. Game of Thrones. Look, I'm not going to lie, Game of Thrones is...
No spoilers, by the way.
Yeah,
we
we're
don't
not spoiling anything.
No.
But yes, that's the reason why we had to delay. And we sort of mentioned it in the mini episode. But... we can't go online and tweet this show without bumping into a spoiler, so we kind of have to watch it.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone, by the way, on social media. It's been a really good start to the season on social media.
New people joining in.
All the people getting involved in the
Welcome
roll call.
aboard.
All the people getting involved in the commentary and the back and forth tweeting. That's been fantastic. That's a different show. Don't do that.
Different show, and it's been trademarked, I'm sure.
It's been trademarked, I'm pretty sure. Thank you for everyone tweeting in there. Thank you for everyone looking at the drinking game too and playing along. That's been good fun. Obviously, the podcast. Thank you for the people who had to listen to the first mini episode. That was really good. A lot of people out there too listening. That's great. We'll keep doing this. It's good to be able to interact with everybody and good to sort of on all the social media platforms. Remember, we're on Facebook at The Washing Up. We're on Twitter at The Washing Up. We're on Instagram at Washing Up Pod. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Libsyn. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere you want to be, really.
Yeah, we're on carrier pigeons.
And a couple of places you don't want to be. So,
like herpes virus.
We're not on herpes virus.
We're not?
No.
But I pay a subscription.
Stop paying what I told you.
I said I wanted a few cases of herpes virus. Sorry, referencing another show we're really into at the moment.
If you've ever seen Upstart Crow, recommended highly.
Yep.
Until next episode, I'm still Chris.
I'm still Kristie.
And we will catch you all then.
Nice.